Hey folks, how you doing? It's me back again. Finished work again, thought I'd stick up another video. Basically, thanks everyone for looking so far and checking everything out. Like I said, I need to start catching up and commenting more on everything. And also the other videos I've been watching, I need to start commenting more. Got to stop being so lazy. Today I would like to show you my Miles Davis records. I'm a massive fan of Miles. I don't know if you can hear in the background, I'm listening to one of the outtakes from the On The Corner sessions. I first got into Miles at quite a young age. My first introduction to jazz was actually Love Supreme by Coltrane, who I'm also a big fan of. And then started hearing Miles, I heard Kinda Blue and stuff like that. And then I heard Bitches Brew and was just blown away. I love Miles' earlier stuff, but for me the 70s stuff stands out the most. Maybe it's because I like funk as well, but it's just unlike anything else, even now. It's just insane. A lot of people have probably moaned for me saying that, but his 70s stuff is just phenomenal, and I like all of it. So that's mainly what I've got here. I haven't got much of his 60s stuff, mainly because it's really hard to find decent pressings too. Original. I tend to buy first pressings, I'm quite fussy, and they are very hard to find in good condition now. But I do have a very nice first English pressing of Kinda Blue. This was on the Fontana label over here. Very rarely seen these days. This is a mono pressing. I'll show you the label as well, because it is nice to see on this label. Fontana were distributed by Philips. Really nice pressing and a good label. It's a mono one, but it sounds great. And I got this fairly recently in a shop. You just don't see this very often, so I'm pleased with that. I'd love to get an original Columbia one with the 6 eyes though, original stereo one, but this will do me for now. Okay, that's that. Just put this away, hang on. And then these are chronological, skipping forward a lot now into 68. Some say this is Miles' proper first fusion album, Miles in the Sky. I think it is the first album when they start using electric keyboards and bass. Great album. It's got Herbie Hancock, Wayne Shorter. It's got the classic lineup: Wayne Shorter, Ron Carter, Tony Williams. It's a superb album, and this is the first album that they start testing the length of the album. And this album's nearly 50 minutes long, which for at the time is quite what's the word? My mind has gone dead. For its time, is quite ahead of its time. It's a lovely album, and this is also a really nice original CBS UK pressing, stereo one. I love these old CBS labels, or a deep orange label, really nice. I've had this for a long time. It's quite scratched, but it plays fine. George Benson's on guitar on the track Paraphernalia as well. And this has got Stuff on it, which is just one of the ultimate grooves, late night grooves, really great track. Filets de Kilimanjaro, or Girls of Kilimanjaro, with Betty Davis on the cover. This is the first English pressing again, nice stereo one. You can see the gold stereo sticker up there. Again, the same lineup, and Chick Corea and Dave Holland are on some of the tracks as well. Again, another, I think it's from the same sort of sessions, and this is, this is the first one that has the subtitle Directions in Music by Miles Davis, which was on a few albums after this. And again, I'll show you the label. Really nice. I don't know why on the camera it looks lighter than it is. It's actually a really nice deep orange. So that's that. You can't go wrong with these albums. Again, this is just brilliant. And Tony Williams, as always, his drumming is just phenomenal. I don't know how he used to play the way he did. He was one of the best drummers ever. Next up, I'm very proud to say I've got an original In a Silent Way. This was one of the first Miles albums I heard, and again, look, this is like the coolest guy ever. I would love to get a pair of shades like that, and a jacket like that, but I don't know if I could pull them off. What do you think? Yeah, again, as you can see, this is laminated. This is the very first English pressing, and only the first edition was laminated. You know, this is just really hard to find, and I picked this up when I was working in a record shop, and it is mint. Yeah, this is when Tio Macero's tape editing first starts coming into play. I mean, he was just a wizard at splicing. I mean, nowadays you can do it with one click on a computer, but back then it was all done with scissors, folks, as I'm sure you know. Well, not scissors, but a splicing kit. Next up, of course, the next in the directions in music, an original Bitches Brew. I'm proud to say I have an original of these. They're getting very rare over here now. The sleeve is quite worn, but I've never seen one that isn't worn. Great cover, of course, by Matty Clarwayne, who did the cover for Abraxas by Santana as well. He also did the Live Evil cover, which I have also. Great photo of Miles there, a bearded Miles. I mean, this album's just, what can you say, incredible. I'll show you one of the labels there. I don't know if it just looks too light. It's not that light, it is a really dark orange. Beautiful. And I think at the time, along with EMI, CBS over here were ahead of the game with the pressing, because these are just flawless, the sound quality. This is really thick vinyl as well, really nice. Next up, I've got Miles Davis at Fillmore. It's got a little tear there, which kind of bugs me, but what can you do? And this is really underrated, I think. It's often overlooked. The way it's put together is very clever as well, because it's 4 nights that he did at the Fillmore, and Tio basically edited a side for each night. So you got Wednesday Miles, Thursday Miles, Friday and Saturday Miles, one on each side, and it's basically all edited together, and you can hear, you know, elements of Pharaoh's Key and stuff like that all stuck in there. You know, it's quite in some ways it's quite a messy album, but that's not a bad thing. And the band were really cooking on these dates. They really were fucking out there, man. This is great. Really good album. Next up, we've got the rarer English pressing of Jack Johnson, where the sleeve's different, basically. I don't like this sleeve. I prefer the American one with the awesome picture of Miles, which there's only a portion of here. This album's just brilliant. It's the really rocky element coming in. You know, Miles was getting into Hendrix and all that. John McLaughlin's on there. You can't go wrong if John McLaughlin's involved. As this was a soundtrack at the time, CBS put soundtracks out on Blue Label. Again, this is an English pressing. I think I've already said that. And also, which makes this even more better, it's still got the poster. Nice little fold-out poster there. I'd say in all my years of collecting, this is the only one that I haven't seen come up for sale since. It's just really hard to find, and it's sold next to nothing over here, so there's not many of them around. And I love Miles's blurb he wrote on the back about Jack Johnson. Brilliant. I'm sad to say I've never seen the film though. Live Evil, another one of my personal favourites, with again a brilliant cover by Matty Clarwayne, or Clarwayne, I'm not sure if I'm saying it right. Clarwayne sounds more like it. Yeah, like, great photos of Miles there, the coolest guy. Again, this is an original English pressing, and this line-up on this is brilliant. It's Jack DeJohnette, it's Hermeto Pasquale appears on a couple of tracks, which is how I got into him from hearing this album. Gary Bartz is on there, John McLaughlin. It's a mixture of live dates at the Cellar Door and studio sessions. Just a great, it's funky as hell, it's dirty. Keith Jarrett's on there as well. It's fucking superb. It's just crazy funky fusion. Another one of this is probably, next to Bitches Brew, this is probably my favourite Miles album, On the Corner. When I heard this, I was completely floored. I just was like, what the fuck is going on here? This album's insane. It's just funky groove after funky groove. I mean, you can hear this track in the background now. This is an outtake from this album. When Miles started indulging more with the wah trumpet. This album sold very little at the time. I think a lot of people just didn't get it. but it is brilliant. How can I describe it? Basically, it's basically 2 tracks on the whole album. You've got the main on the corner track, which on the vinyl and the original CD is split up into 4 tracks. They just sing in together. And then you've got Black Satin, 3 different takes of Black Satin. Black Satin is just funky as hell, funkiest bass line. Boom, ba-dum, boom, boom. Fucking brilliant. Because of course at this point you have Michael Henderson on bass, who was a badass bass player. This album is just, this will blow your mind. It is ghetto funk at its rawest. I can see why it didn't sell. A lot of people just didn't get it at the time. Next up, one of the often underappreciated albums from this period is In Concert, which is also brilliant. Very rough sound. Apparently it was recorded badly at the time. They didn't make a great... It's a great cover again by the same artist that did On the Corner, Corky McCoy. I think he was a comic book artist. This is insane. 1973. This is when Reggie Lucas first joined the band, and M2 May. Brilliant. And you got Badal Roy on tabla, Kalal Balakrishna on electric sitar. So there's all sorts of ethnic shit going on. Lonnie Liston-Smith's on here. This album's just a jam. You can hear the riffs. They're playing Black Satin and stuff like that. Rated X, which later appeared on Get Up With It, which I'll talk about in a minute. This is a great album. It is mental. I play music myself, and I'd often love to sort of get a band together like this and just blow people's minds, because I'm sure the audience must have been like, what is this? This is crazy. I'm sure, and of course Miles's old school fans hated this stuff. I didn't stop him though, he kept going, man. A couple of his albums were only pressed in Japan. This is one of them, Black Beauty. This was recorded in 1970 at Fillmore West. It was released in 73. And with Japanese pressings, it's the dog's bollocks. You've got really nice thick sleeves. You've got nice vinyl, really good sound. This has got the insert as well. No Obi strip though, I'm afraid to say. Advertising other albums, and it's got Japanese text. I wish I could read Japanese, but I can't. I have no idea what it says. And you've got the original Japanese CBS Sony labels. Yeah, this is a good album, and it's the same sort of lineup from the At Fillmore album. I think it's from the same tour, same period, definitely. Wayne Shorter and Chick Corea on it, that sort of bunch. Good album. Big Fun, another great album. This was put out in 74. This is very much in demand now because it is superb. It's got 2, I think, Great Expectations and Lonely Fire, which are from 69, around the time of Bitches Brew, same sessions. Go Ahead John, which is from the Jack Johnson sessions. And Ife, which is fucking brilliant. That's from the On the Corner sessions, I believe, that sort of time period. 1 track per side. Each track is about half an hour long. This is great. This is another one that you just don't see now. And of course these are all repressed, so the repressings are easier to find than these at first pressings. Next up, another one of my personal favourites, Get Up With It. The last studio album that Miles put out for a long time, to his sort of self-imposed exile. He really does look sad there, doesn't he? But those sunglasses are fucking killer. This was dedicated to Duke Ellington. See there, it says For Duke. He just passed away. It's a very dark album, this one. I mean, the longest tracks on here are 32 minutes, which is quite a feat, There's 2 tracks that are that length. It's a pretty dark album, It's murky, it's funky. The sound quality is raw as fuck. Pete Cozy was in the band at this point, insane guitarist. Another one of my favourite guitarists, who was on the Electric Mud album. That guy was crazy. You watch footage of the band from that period. He used to just sit on a chair on stage, big afro, massive beard, just sitting there playing these insane solos on 12-string guitar, and he had all this percussion and He had a synth as well. He was insane. Why don't people play like that anymore? Anyway, yeah, this album's great, and this has got the track M2 May, which is one of my favourite, and the track Billy Preston as well. And Miles went through a phase of naming tracks after people. Yeah, really good stuff. I'd highly recommend this album to anyone that's wanting to get into Miles's 70s period. If you've already heard Bitches Brew, get this next or On the Corner. One album I don't have, the only one I don't have from the 70s is Dark Magus, which was released in Japan and it's brilliant, but it's just so rare. I've seen one come up for sale, but it's been like £150, £100. Can't afford that, man. So I would love to get one. I'm sure I will one day. But another Japanese pressing I do have is Pangia, or Pangia. This only came out in Japan as well. Beautiful sleeve, great artwork. Unfortunately, this doesn't have the Obi strip or the insert that came with it, so I am still after an insert for this. But this pressing is just astounding. The sound quality is incredible. Really good. Beautiful labels to boot. Custom labels. Again on CBS Sony. Basically, this album Anagata, which is here, were recorded on the same day, I think. I think Pangia is from the evening session, and Agata is from the afternoon one. I don't know why this was only released in Japan. I really don't know. There you go. So yeah, these were both recorded on the same date in Japan, in Osaka, I think. This cover's superb, if you can see the different sleeve in America. This is the English one. Hang on. Yeah, beautiful. Again, really nice artwork. This was recorded at Osaka Festival Hall, February the 1st, 75. I think this was the last gig that Miles did before his exile, I think. At least the last recorded gig. And this is just a standard CBS pressing. I think it's a Dutch pressing, actually. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I mean, again, this is another one that people are going crazy for because it is funky as hell. Yeah, this is a period when they were just playing groove upon groove for like half an hour at a time and just jamming. I love this shit, man. This is as good as it gets. So yeah, that's my Miles albums. Before I forget, I thought I'd show you. I'm proud to say I've got a couple of the box sets. I've got the complete Jack Johnson box set, which I bought at the time when I was on holiday in Florida. I mean, these box sets are great. I don't have the Bitches Brew or Silent Way ones. I'd love to get these are the original editions that were in like a sort of book form. They've now brought them out again in a long box, and they just don't look as good. And they don't sit neatly with the other CDs. So I'd love to get the other two. So I've got that. This is brilliant. Everything on this is great. I'd get that. And I'm also proud to say I've got the original Metal On the Corner box set, which has started going rusty already. I've no idea why. That is shocking, isn't it? And this has been out for about 5 years. Has anyone else got this and it started going rusty? I'm quite concerned. I may have to find some way to store it to stop it getting any worse. But yeah, you can see it's the original album cover and it's in a metal tin. Same kind of box design. Oh, stiff. Same kind of box design. And this is what we're listening to right here. The sessions from this. Yeah, so that's beautiful as well. So I'm quite worried about that rust. Yeah, so that's the Miles stuff I've got. If I get Dark Magus, it will be updated on here. I will inform you all. So thanks for watching. See you soon. Peace.